I don't want to say you've been dragged through the mud, but
But I have.
You have. I want to give you a second, because I want to talk specifically about Zach Edey, because he has been an impactful guy for the Grizzlies, I think. Your takes from a year and a half ago, 2 years ago almost, have been getting pulled up.
Leave it to Rusty.
Yeah. I want to give you, one, the floor for a minute, and two, some credit, because I was looking at this. One, I think Zach Edey, the big Zamboni, Zach Squatch, I think he literally might be the most improved player in the league this year, and I think stats back it up. And I think that serves you some, because I don't think anybody really saw the impact that he's having on this team coming. I think we all thought he was going to be good, but
right,
you're getting treated right now that you thought that he was. I don't know.
Well, I was definitely on the side that most people were not on, and the reason, if we take it back to the start, I didn't want to draft Zach Edey because what I wanted, prototypically, is to take a shot at a wing or a big man that could finish, that could run the floor with Ja. This is all about Ja here. And I was like, okay, I wanted somebody big, somebody athletic. I mean, you think, Khalil Ware, someone like that could just fly up and down the court, play this speed. We always want to talk about this breakneck speed. And it seemed that they wanted Donovan Clingan, which I was happy with Donovan Clingan, and it just felt like a reaction, like oh crap, we have to take somebody, let's take Zach Edey. That's what it felt like to everybody that was watching, because on the draft coverage, it was like, I think the Grizzlies are going to move up here, and then it's like, Jake Fisher pump faked everybody and said the Grizzlies are trading up with, was it Charlotte?
Yeah.
And then the trade never happened. It was like, oh crap, now the Grizzlies are on the clock, what are we going to do? And they took Zach Edey, and so I was just kind of like, blah, whatever. And Rusty, for the record, hated it too. When it changed was when everybody started getting pissed at Taylor Jenkins. One of the big talking points at that point was like, why is Zach Edey taking so many threes? Which I was also critical of. But because of the hatred for Zach Edey, it turned into this adoration, this hatred for Taylor Jenkins. You had to, if you wanted to hate Taylor Jenkins, you had to take up the cause for Zach Edey. You couldn't do both. And everybody who hated Taylor Jenkins used as their number one bullet point what he's doing to Zach Edey. And I was just of the opinion, I really want Zach Edey anyways. and so that's where you kind of really had the diverging of paths a little bit, was over that. And so you get to today, and also it's like, again, a 7'5" big guy, 4 years in college. Like, you just don't have really any frame of reference for them lasting in the NBA, especially in today's NBA. If you can't shoot the three, like, you don't really play. You see guys like Rudy Gobert, and Edey's not 7'5", 7'3". Like, Rudy Gobert is like 7'2". He's kind of the same, finishing lobs. That's kind of what a lot of people were comparing him to. Defensive stalwart. But at that point, you're just too big to operate in a pick and roll, and you cannot defend that consistently. In a 7-game series, Rudy Gobert, the 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, whether you agree with the award or not, was played off the court every single playoff series he was ever a part of.
Yep.
And at that point, the Grizzlies, two out of the previous 3 years, were the number 2 seed in the West, and you didn't have playoff success. So I wanted somebody that you knew could have playoff success. And the track record for a 7'3" big man who doesn't have a lot of lateral quickness, or it didn't show that he had a lot of lateral quickness at that point.
Yeah, that's
gets
better.
Played off the court. You take it to this year, Zach Edey gets hurt. Of course, I was like, again, we're doing this again. Ankle surgery, big guy, foot. There's a track record there too that they don't really have good feet. You got to think the feet's as big as a ski. There's a lot of things in there to break.
Yep.
And it's you can go on and on. Bill Walton, you just deal with foot injuries when you're that big.
Yep.
And I've I'm never going to be the guy that has a take. I'm not Skip Bayless. I'm not going to have a take that is LeBron sucks and then stick to that take despite being proven to be
wrong. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I've been effusive of my praise of Zach Edey this year. Yes. He's been absolutely amazing. I want to be wrong. When I'm criticizing a Grizzlies player or front office decision, I want to be wrong. And so far this year, when Zach Edey has come back, I have been wrong. But to me, besides the rebounds, which obviously is incredible, besides the offensive stuff that he's doing, which is the most fun thing to watch outside of John Morant, is him just feeding the hands and doing 1980s stuff down there. It's such a change of pace. I love it.
Really nice.
But I did not take into account just the fact that there was a possibility out there that the team would feed off of Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Everything just works. That was not the amount of credit I was going to give a guy who rarely played last year, and when he played, he was out of position, and the whole thing was a mess. But the mentality that he brings to this team, and just the way that he works in this offense, and this offense works around him, was something I did not see coming. Not even in the slightest. And so that's where I've been wrong about that. And for anybody who was just pro Zach Edey and slandered me forever for my takes about it, you didn't expect him to go 36-20 on a regular basis.
Not at all.
This is just otherworldly stuff that we've seen. And so he's made me look bad, but even the fans, he's made them look like they were on the wrong side of it. Because, I mean, he's just been far and above anything anybody could have ever dreamed in the 8 games that he's played this year.
Yep. And like it should be said, that's we're talking about 8 games, but like we're talking about a guy that his point differential, his when he was on the court last year, his point differential was +1 per clean. This is per cleaning the glass. That's last year. This year he's plus 35.5.
It's incredible. And listen, I understand, and I was not defending Taylor Jenkins' use of Zach Edey last year. I was defending Taylor Jenkins because John Morant didn't play basketball.
Yeah,
that was something he chose not to do last year, and so I put more of the blame on the star player not playing basketball. This is the NBA; you got to have players to win.
Yep.
And so I was critical of Taylor Jenkins in that aspect too. There's no reason why even me as the Zach Edey hater or the contrarian knew that he didn't need to be standing in the corner shooting threes. That's stupid.
Yep.
Yeah. But even then, used correctly in a system there, I thought he was going to be kind of a change of pace backup big, a utility knife, a blade in the Swiss Army knife that you could use.
Out.
I did not expect him to be the straw that stirs the drink by any means, and it's been a pleasant surprise.
I really like your analogy. Like we expected him to be the nail file on the Swiss Army knife, and instead he's a switchblade that we're like,
right.
And it's great. I mean, the expected wins with him on the floor is 62. I mean, like that's this season, whereas last year it was 2. And I mean, like right now, if you go to FanDuel, he's 101 to win the most improved player this year. People, the top 5 vote getters, the top 5 people on the odds, you got Jalen Duren, Denny Avdia, Josh Giddey, Ryan Rollins, and Jalen Johnson. Zach Edey has improved. The only one of these guys that has even come close, you got Jalen Duren. Last season went from he was in the 50s. He went from a 0.2 point differential.
He's been awesome
to a 14.7.
Yeah,
but that's
and
it.
That's
Zach
not
Edey
even
dwarfs that by 34 points.
Yeah, and the methodology and the framework in which they award most improved player needs to change anyways, because it'll end up going to like a third-year superstar in the making. Like Cade Cunningham got it, and John Morant got it despite being awesome his whole career. Like, improved is not what it should be. Zach Edey, it should be Jalen Duren, it should be somebody who was affecting winning at a 0% clip last year and affecting winning at a 34% clip or whatever you said it was this year. Like, it should be that, but it's not. And listen, if everybody wants to keep harping on me and calling me the Zach Edey hater, that's fine. I'm a fan. I'm officially a fan. I think that it's great. I do still hold on to that one thing, and it is, can you survive in the playoffs? Can you survive on the court defensively in the playoffs? He's shown to be able to recover really well out of the pick and roll so far this year. But I need to see that. And I also would love to see it with Ja Morant, because what you've seen with Ja out, Ja went out the same time Edey came in. That Cleveland game, they got 6 minutes together, and then Ja's been out ever since. The pace has slowed down dramatically without Ja and adding in Edey. This whole speed kills thing, are we going to try to ramp this back up? Because a lot of people are saying, like, we're still running. I don't think that right now we're running what T.I. wants us to run. He's always talked about breakneck speed, and credit to him for allowing the pace to you take the foot off the gas a little bit, because that helps Edey, and he's your best player right now.
Yep.
But your best player will be coming. Your actual best player will be coming back at some point, and his greatest advantage is his speed. So then, how does it work? Because I'm not going to go as far as to say we need to build around Zach Edey. This is still Ja Morant's team, and you've got to accentuate him first.
Yeah.
And so then, how does Edey look when and if we start running a lot quicker?